Alright, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Mole Trap here, coming at you with another StarCraft commentary. There's Xellos. There's Julyzerg. I am so hyped about this match, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be super cool. Xellos, if you're not aware, one of the best Terran players of like 2003. Actually even into 2004, maybe 5. So this is 2006 though. This is 2006. He's not quite on the top of the game anymore. I think he's maybe not, he hasn't gotten worse or anything like that, but he's been surpassed in the intervening years. Julyzerg, similar story. Julyzerg, the best Zerg of 2004, arguably, and 2005 probably. One of the best. 2006 though, he's definitely been surpassed by Savior. But he's still solid. But this is kind of like, you know, the beginning of his slump era. Like 2006-7, Julyzerg was not winning stuff. You know, he had been an absolute, he developed himself into a legend. Basically what I'm getting at is both these players are legends. And they're not on top of the game right now, but they're probably on each other's level, since they're both legends from about the same time period in the evolution of StarCraft, right? Xellos is going to be the Terran player on the top left here, and Julyzerg is going to be the Zerg, obviously, in the bottom right of the map. This is the map Arcadia. We're going to pop up Arcadia for a second there, might as well. There's Arcadia right here. 4-spawn map. This is the one where you got the interesting like ramp down out of your main into this area where there's like a choke point, which protects your expansion and your like sort of second expansion. It's like half an expansion because it's 6 mineral patches and no gas, right? So it's an interesting little second expansion spot there, and you can kind of have one choke point to protect both of those spots. So see how this plays out. Julyzerg almost certainly is going to be taking advantage of those expansions. He's good at low econ, but you know, he's very aggressive. He likes to get a lot of units out. So if you're gonna make a hatchery, you might as well make it. And actually, is he taking the mineral only first? That's weird. Wait, did I get that right? Let me look at the map here. He's in the bottom right. Yeah, he took the mineral only first. That is interesting. I wonder if it's because he wanted to take a spot that's going to put creep closer to the choke point faster, is probably my thinking here. Because you do want to protect that choke point. You want to get sunken colonies out there. So that's probably what's going on here with this spot. But, you know, a little bit interesting. And I guess, you know what? You know, often in ZVT, you don't take your second gas until later on anyways, right? So he'll have his third hatchery down. He'll be able to get that gas up probably without any problems. Anyway, just an interesting spot to think about here. It also, his hatchery could be a little bit down a tick maybe, although maybe that's optimal where it is because one of the minerals was a little bit out. So might have forced him to put it farther away if he put it down a tick, so never mind. Never mind. You're an idiot, Mole Trap from 15 seconds ago. He's not responding, so now it makes me feel like I should pre-respond now to something I'm going to tell myself later, but I don't know what it is. So I'll just preemptively say, shut up, Mole Trap, in the future. You don't know what you're talking about. You're old. Okay, boomer. Alright, so now in the future when I talk to myself in the past, I will have already rebutted myself. This is the insanity that y'all tune in for, I think, right? Anyway, so yeah, Julyzerg does have that third base up and running, just like I said. Good job, past Mole Trap, but not the past Mole Trap that was telling me to shut up. The previous past Mole Trap that was correct about the third hatchery being put down there. One barracks being producing Marines here. Did we see Xellos? Yeah, Xellos actually has an expansion base here. Now, you don't need the choke point quite as much to protect your expansion as Terran. So, especially in the early game, you know, pre-lurkers and stuff. So, it's a cool move there, and he's going to be able to get that expansion up and running. I don't know if he's actually scouted Julyzerg yet or recently, so can't say if this is a response or not. For a moment, I saw those SCVs heading out. I was like, oh, bunker rush. big fat all in, but no, there's just transferring down to the expansion there. So now, Xellos is actually gonna have a pretty decent economy going on. He is gonna run in here and scout everything that's going on. Julyzerg leaving his ramp a little bit open, so his SCV is just gonna shimmy on in. The drone had an opportunity to block as well, and he missed it. So this SCV is going to be able to get in here and scout everything. Well, scout that there's a lair, I guess. That's all he can scout. He's going to try and keep it alive long enough to see if he can find a Spire timing, but I don't think it's going to happen. Whoa, VOD, calm down, VOD. VOD, what are you doing, buddy? Okay, now we've caught up. That was weird. Oh, we got one more hit on that SCV. Oh, it goes down before the lair finishes. So he can't quite get the Spire timing or anything like that. He could kind of expect it, though. Double engineering bay. Whoa, double engineering bay academy upgrades. He is going for some quick upgrades, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to try and get 1-1 as quickly as possible. Probably going to see him add barracks here, I would imagine, and push out with a pretty fast 1-1 push is my expectation here. Significant investment here, getting that second engineering bay and the second set of upgrades. That's a few hundred resources, but it's going to mean that he's going to have a really strong timing. Really, really strong timing, because the armor is really, really good against Mutalisks. It's going to slow down that glaive bounce a lot and make sure he's not taking nearly as much damage from those things. He's definitely going to have the armor upgrade before Julyzerg can, like, for example, get an attack upgrade on his mutas or something like that. And then he's going to have the +1 attack upgrade for his marines as well, so, they're going to be so strong. They're going to be able to melt Zerglings. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage to Mutalisks. No Evo chamber either, so there's not even going to be Carapace on the Zerglings or anything like that. So these are going to be very strong infantry for Xellos when he pushes out. But, you have to invest a lot into this timing. So if it doesn't work, he may find himself, or if Julyzerg preempts his timing attack, for example, or something like that. But it looks like this is going to work, honestly. A fourth base going down for Julyzerg in the top right. Very, very interesting. Yeah, he could just catch Julyzerg with his upgrades down. Basically, he's gonna have a very, very strong push here. He's pushing out with a lot. He's gonna have a lot of stuff, and he probably has scanners at this point. I'd be curious to see what this. Okay, the Spire is done. Spire is done. I was gonna say, like, I was thinking it might be too late to push out and try and do an attack before the Spire finishes. Magical Bright card. Haha. I love translations. Magical Bright card. I don't even know what that means. Maybe the Bright card is what they're calling the cheer pole, the cheer placard, the sign. Maybe they're saying that this card will give him magic. I don't know. But the Mutalisks are out on the map, but they're gonna have a hard time dealing with these Marines if they do engage in a fight with the Marines. Now, I thought Xellos was gonna try and push out for like an attack with the timing of these Marines and stuff, but he's just got turrets. He's got Marines over on the back over here, not overstimming. Good trigger control there. He did then actually stim a lot of his units unnecessarily there at the end, so I gave him a compliment a little bit too much ahead of time. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna see some skirmishing here between these Mutalisks. Xellos has a really strong force because he got a lot of barracks. Oh, he actually attack moved all of his forces out at once, and the Firebat got ahead, and the Mutalisks are actually able to take out that Firebat. Only one Firebat left, and it's actually really crucial. If he goes in for a Mutaling attack, it's going to be really crucial to have that Firebat in there to protect his Marines from the Zerglings. Although, of course, he could target down the Firebat with the Mutalisks if he goes in for an attack, but it looks like he's just trying to stall. He's trying to buy time to get the lurkers up. He's got that fourth base up in the top right. I don't believe that Xellos knows about that top right base. I think he's in the dark about that. And here, oh, the Sunken Colony picks out the Firebat. The Firebat's just, both of them made the mistake of getting out ahead. You guys are Firebats, not scouts. He's trying to put down some bunkers to secure this location so he can secure the win, but he's going for an all attack. The lurkers are not ready yet, but he just has too much forces, and the Hydralisk's actually doing so much damage in the back. He doesn't target the Hydras, and he is forced to cancel both of the bunkers, and oh no, this is a disaster. This is just an absolute disaster there. Xellos losing everything, not killing any of the crucial tech units at all. Hydralisks almost entirely living through that. The Mutalisk taking minimal damage as well. And Julyzerg, in the meantime, has gotten a 5th base up in the top right. This is over, ladies and gentlemen. When Julyzerg has 5 bases and you don't have map control to punish them immediately, you're toast. And now Julyzerg has lurkers. I mean, this is if this was another Zerg, maybe Xellos could pull something off. But Julyzerg in command of 5 bases of economy, he's just gonna put out so many units, it's gonna be ridiculous. He's got this nice little spot here next to that bridge where he can plant the lurkers down, make it really difficult for Xellos to advance out there and try and do something on the map. Imagine if Xellos goes top right instead. Instead of attacking the natural, going for the kill. Imagine if he attacks top right, kills off those bases up there instead, which would have been much easier. There's no lurkers, there's no sunks. There might have been some sunks. No, there's no sunks there. Yeah, there's no sunkens anywhere up there. If he attacks top right, Xellos wins the game. Instead, he attacks the natural and he loses everything, unfortunately. Now, of course, we didn't know that. He didn't know that, but yeah, just not a good situation. And that was probably his timing too. He probably had 1-1. In fact, we can kind of barely see the pixels enough to tell that he does have 1-1 upgrades now they clicked on him. And 0-0 for the Mutalisks, so, you know, he's still got the major upgrade advantage for those infantry units. But, yeah, he's gonna have vessels out soon as well, in which case he's gonna be able to deal with these lurkers pretty effectively. Now, it looks like Xellos transferring some SCVs. I think he probably got that 3rd half base is where those guys are going, I imagine. I can't actually see it very well on the minimap to see if that's what's going on, but pretty sure that's what's happening. But again, you know, Julyzerg just has map control. He still has the Mutalisk did not even die in that attack, so he's still got like 9 or 10 Mutalisks. And these handful of lurkers just held things off long enough for us to get his economy. Here we go. Julyzerg moving in here, trying to go for the kill. Xellos very wisely falling back out of range of the lurkers. He wants to fight just the Lings and the Mutas, but it doesn't even matter. Even if he avoids fighting those million lurkers, there's 1,000,001 Zerglings and Mutalisks as well. And you know, even the time that it takes him to fall back, the Zerglings can catch up and get hits, the Mutalisks can catch up and get hits. So even though he dodges the lurkers effectively, he just takes damage along the way. And so now he does have siege tanks out. He's using the siege tanks to avoid complete and utter destruction at the moment, but Julyzerg just has so many bases. He's getting hive tech as well. It's like I don't know how you deal with this, you know? Like a lot of other Zergs in Julyzerg's position, maybe they fold somehow, they lose somehow. But Julyzerg is not going to let go in this situation. He's just too good. One of the highest APMs in the entire history of the game, basically, at the highest level. And so he can keep track of these lurkers at the same time as macroing up his units. And he's in the meantime, he's also squeezed in full drone saturation at all of his expansions, by the way. So it's not just 5 bases; it's 5 fully up and running bases, or maybe 4.5, I guess, if you take out the mineral only. But he's got 4 gases, and that's one of the important things here. He's trying to push in here. The lurker's going in first. The Lings got a little bit off timing in the back, but he's got so many. That's just the first wave of lurkers. The second wave coming in here as well. And Xellos trying to fight on top of his tanks in order to protect them, but it's just an absolute slaughter, ladies and gentlemen. People that build buildings on the location of that battle in the future are going to have nightmares when they're going to be haunted by the ghosts of all of the units that died just there, ladies and gentlemen. And now Julyzerg pushing into the natural expansion, just bypassing the building third, getting lurkers on top of the production facilities of Xellos as well. And this is exactly what I expected to happen. SCV's retreating, SCV's attacking lurkers, just dying, maybe it's just some fan service, you know. Let the fans see a slaughter of SCVs before I tap out here. There's no other purpose to attacking with those SCVs. That was a little bit silly, but Xellos not tapping out yet for some reason, but this game is lost. There's no coming back from this. And we're going to see Team MBC game go up 3-2, ladies and gentlemen, with this victory by Julyzerg over Xellos. Very, very nicely done. I mean, I feel like I'm trying to figure out what happened there. Like, Xellos had this cool timing where he was going to go in with 1-1 Marines, just really powerful Marines there, and just somehow Julyzerg had too much stuff. I didn't think that he was going to have enough money returned on his investment into that top right 4th base to be able to put out that many units to deal with that by then, but he apparently did. But, you know, Julyzerg's one of these players that just somehow is able to squeeze out a lot of units with low econ regardless. So, coming out with a big win. I'm really surprised that Xellos' timing attack didn't kind of pay off a little bit more. But it was an interesting fight, too. The Hydralisks attacking from the back, doing DPS behind the Zerglings. So, by the way, I've noticed that, like, apparently the time after the game that it takes me to wrap up talking about it is the same every time, because it's always at this point in the song, or now it's a little bit later, I guess, than usual, but this song that they play after the games, it's always like at the same point when I kind of trail off for the ending, so it's kind of interesting. Lots of random thoughts for me today, ladies and gentlemen, and I never did. I forgot to yell at my past self. So screw you, past self, who preemptively rebutted my. I don't know. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Another 2v2 match coming up next, which could decide things if the MBC game 2v2 team can take it home, or could bring it to an ace match. We'll see. Hope you enjoyed it.